This is Carlin on 98.7 ESPN.
Oh, what a weekend for the New York Jets. Carlin, 800-919-3776. The Jets haven't had a weekend like this in 10, 12, 13 years, whatever it is, since those championship game weekends. 800-919-3776. Twitter at Chris Carlin. By all means, check in there. That guy Carlin on Instagram. The video stream of the show is everywhere on 98.7 ESPN's Twitter handle, of course, on 98.7 ESPN's Facebook page, ESPN New York's Facebook page, and, of course, it is available at Carlin on ESPN over on YouTube. My friends, there is so much to get to in 2 short hours tonight. I would encourage you to get on the phones because we are going to get to you early. There is not just the Jets. There is not just the lack of a need to rush Zach Wilson. There is not just Luis Rojas living on borrowed time right now. There is not just Dave Gettleman's big weekend, or was it really Joe Judge's big weekend? There is not just the Yankees being back, or, not really. There's also the thought that you at least have to pick up the phone when one guy's available, don't you? We get to it all. I'm thrilled with what happened with Joe Douglas, and you should be too, over this weekend. Zach Wilson aside, look, all along I had said I felt like they should keep Sam Darnold and try to continue to build and see what this season would bring, or frankly, at least see what the best return would be if they waited it out. But if they wanted to go in the direction of Zach Wilson, then you had to believe in what they were doing because they believe that he is their guy. But it's about so much more than that this weekend. It's about Elijah Vera Tucker, Joe Douglas recognizing he has to pay a steep price to get quality, real talent, elite talent on this roster. A guy who went 14th overall, give up 2 third-round picks, move up, and get yourself positioned to get your guy protected. You spent the 11th overall pick on a left tackle last year. You spent money last offseason in bringing in some free agent offensive linemen, some of which worked okay, some of which didn't. But you are much better across the board on the offensive line today than you were a year ago, than you were 2 years ago when he took over. You are much better off at receiver today than you were 2 years ago. Just think about this for a second. As the Jets were getting ready to start the season in 2019, who their receivers were. It was Robbie Anderson, okay. It was Quincy Enunwa. It was Jamison Crowder. And then Josh Bellamy. Peak. J.J. Jones. Who? J.J. Jones? Who? Today we're talking about Corey Davis. We're talking about Denzel Mims. We're talking about Elijah Moore. We're talking about Keelan Cole, and they may still cut Jamison Crowder. That's how good of a position they're in because his financials are actually $10 million more off the cap that they could knock out. They may not. They can afford to keep him. They've got depth at that position. They've got depth on the offensive line. They went and they added a running back a little bit later on that they liked a lot. A guy that Mel Kiper said was his top talent available going into the 3rd round. They got in the 4th round. Guys, Joe Douglas played this entire weekend just brilliantly. And you know what you saw that was just so nice? You saw a plan. You didn't see any left turns out of nowhere. You didn't see any Christian Hackenberg selections. You didn't see selections that looked like they were completely out of no plan or going completely off script of what you were doing. They stuck to a plan, and the Jets got a lot better this weekend. You got good, young, quality talent. Yeah, we still have to see whether or not Zach Wilson's going to be the guy. And we'll talk more about that in a bit. I'm more excited, frankly, about the other positions that they were able to improve because we knew that this was going to happen with Wilson. I mean, I said the other day, if you're listening on Friday when I'm on with Bart, don't be shocked, or on Thursday when I was on with Bart, don't be shocked if somebody slides to 15 or 16 if the Jets move up. They moved up to 14 to get an elite talent on that offensive line. You know what else they didn't do that's even better? They didn't trade any draft picks from next season. Did you notice that? From next year? They did not trade away one draft pick from next year, even in their excitement to move up. You know why? Because next year's draft picks are worth infinitely more than this year's are. So that's why it was easier to give up 2 third-round picks to move up. And maybe you overpaid a little bit, but you overpaid because you knew what you were getting. Somebody that could be elite and a Pro Bowler at the position of guard to protect from the inside, where, as you might remember, there was plenty of pressure last year. All of these things that happened over the weekend, brilliant. Just perfect across the board. The Jets, to me, did about as well as you could expect. And it's like I have said since he got here. And I know it's still going to bear out however the wins and losses look moving forward. This year is not a year they're going to win, but you're looking for real progress. Joe Douglas has had this thing headed in the right direction. There were some early misses, whether it's Ryan Khalil or guys like that, or a couple of the free agent acquisitions last year on the offensive line. But right now, they are a much better team than they were when he took over, talent-wise. Much better. And they still have a long way to go, don't get me wrong. But this was a big, big step. This was a, dare I say, this was a turning point for the Jets this weekend. And it's not just the quarterback. You're going to look back and you're going to think about this as the Zach Wilson draft, one way or the other. But I think in a very positive way with who else they have added specifically to this offense, which now is at least beyond acceptable. You know, they're not explosive yet, but we don't know what some of these guys are going to turn out to be. I think Elijah Moore is going to be a really, really good player. Really explosive. You know, Corey Davis is somebody that they have felt, that a lot of teams felt, frankly, was just about breaking out after he was the 5th overall pick in the draft. And you saw the numbers get better and better. Let's see if that continues to happen. Let's see if Shaq Lawson, or what's his name? The Carl Lawson is the guy at defensive end that's really going to help the Jets apply pressure to the quarterback. Well, I love where they have headed this offseason. I love everything they have done virtually. And I don't think there's much to feel bad about. And when was the last time you could honestly say that? When was the last time that, if you're being objective about it, you knew that there was a plan and you were going to be confident in that plan? Are you confident in the plan right now? Because you should be. Now, there's also the quarterback. And we'll get to that in moments. Because when it comes to Zach Wilson, you may want to see him day one. But there is no need to rush. No need to rush. We'll tell you why in moments. Carlin, 800-919-3776. 919 ESPN. We get the ball rolling. We're here until Knicks basketball. Knicks and the Grizzlies. The lines are open for you, and they're open for whatever you want to discuss because there is a lot in front of us tonight.
It's Carlin.
I went to this doctor, and he told me I swallowed a lot of aggression, along with a lot of pizzas. Pizzas.
On 98.7 ESPN.
The Michael K. Show is on.
Joe Douglas, the GM of the Jets. Are you totally pleased? Is there anything that you replay in your mind and go, yeah, maybe I should have gone that way? Or the way it worked out was the way you wanted it to work out?
For us, ultimately, to get Zach, to get Elijah, Vera Tucker, to get Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, those were guys that were really high on our board. So to round out a 10-person class that everyone was excited about, it was a good feeling.
Don't miss the Michael K. Show weekdays at 2 on 98.7 ESPN.
What's up, my people on the stream? Chris Gordon checking in. Let's see. Stevie Brzezinski. Providence College Friars. Talk about Icelanders. Not the Islanders tonight. Taboo Calderon. What rookie quarterback will be the best?
Sugar House Sportsbook wants you to experience
Let's
Rush
see.
Pay. When you want to cash out your winnings, you don't want to wait 2 days just to get the go-ahead to withdraw your money. That's why Sugar House created Rush Pay. With Rush Pay, 80% of withdrawal requests are approved instantly, meaning you'll get your money faster. Why wait? Get your cash when you want it. Bet with a winner. Bet with Sugar House Sportsbook at playsugarhouse.com or download the iOS app. Playable in New Jersey only. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Keyshawn, Shea, Will, and Zubin.
Mel Kiper Jr., our ESPN NFL draft analyst.
What grade did you give the Giants?
Why B+, Mel?
I should give an F for giving them a B+. Dave Gettleman did a great job. When you trade down twice and you get Kadarius Toney and then you get Azeez Ojolari.
K-Daz, I think Zach Wilson is going to surprise everybody. We're going to talk more about that in moments.
Keyshawn, Shea, Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 8 a.m. on 98.7 ESPN.
T-Mobile is
Ramping up a little coffee today. I don't know why.
Small towns across America. We've been investing billions
See
to light
here.
up our award-winning 5G network in more places than ever. And to celebrate, we're upgrading everyone to 5G. Introducing the free 5G upgrade. It's time to upgrade your phone and your plan. Bring any working cell phone to T-Mobile and trade it in for a free 5G Samsung Galaxy. Plus, when you switch, you'll get unlimited 5G for the same price as Verizon and AT&T's limited plans. Now that's an upgrade. And just one of the reasons why T-Mobile is America's leader in 5G. Experience it today with the free 5G upgrade. Visit a neighborhood store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
Phone via 24 credits plus tax. If you cancel credit, stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us. Qualifying credit required. Plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Customers on this plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using over 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams at 480p. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey guys, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and this year you need to make it extra special because mom deserves more than just breakfast in bed. So how about super cozy pajamas designed for ultimate relaxation exclusively from pajamagram.com? The trusted PJ experts who know exactly what moms want with timeless looks, playful patterns, and luxurious materials. Pajamagram.com is where you'll find the perfect gift for Mother's Day. Super soft PJs that'll leave her feeling cozy, comfy, and ready to unwind. Whether she's a dog lover, a coffee connoisseur, or anything in between, Pajamagram has the perfect PJs for your mom. And right now, Pajamagram.com is including free gift packaging with your order, which means you don't have to wrap a thing. Just go to Pajamagram.com and grab the perfect Mother's Day gift with free gift packaging now. It's fast, it's easy, and delivery by Mother's Day is guaranteed. That's Pajamagram.com.
Welcome to 7-Eleven.
I almost didn't make it.
2 minutes.
Okay.
A super chill day.
Been there. You should try the 7NOW app. You can get free delivery on anything in the store with the code FREENOW. And it gets
Oh, Chris Sheeran checking in
So I didn't
of
get
Yes
to get
Network
off
fame.
my couch
Oh,
to
hi.
eat pizza.
You did not.
I can order a taquito
Otis
from the shower.
If your phone's waterproof.
What am I doing here then?
7-Eleven. Take it to 11.
Let's see here. Chris Gordon, I don't know how many hits he can take, especially in this league, in reference to Zach Wilson and his size. Jerry Lewis Jr. What's going on, big fella?
When we started, they had a
Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Thanks for checking in.
Select the right colors and finishes. Then they had a project manager on site to make the process stress-free and easy. They use Benjamin Moore, the market leader in paint, so it not only looks good, but it lasts. Precision Painting Plus really understands that painting is a reflection of you and your home. That's why they're focused on realizing your vision and being respectful of your time and your budget. Precision Painting Plus is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and has thousands of 5-star reviews just like mine. They also offer a 2-year warranty and interest-free financing. Schedule your free estimate today online at www.precisionpaintingplus.com or by phone at 866-211-9717.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
I am the opposite of a homer when it comes to the Jets. I get yelled at by a lot of people, including the Jets, for being so critical. That's how I was raised. So I am just negative by nature, particularly when it comes to my team. Stand by. Top 20 caliber players. And it is my opinion that the Jets had an outstanding draft.
Greeny, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. right here on 98.7 ESPN.
Eight 800-919-3776. Calls in a moment. We'll also take the comments as well on the video stream at 98.7 ESPN's Twitter handle and ESPN New York's Facebook page. In addition to my YouTube page, Carlin on ESPN. It's all there. It's everywhere. That's all you need to know. 800-919-3776. Let us start with Greg in New Jersey up first tonight. Greg, what's going on?
Hey, Jeff, what's going on? Long-time listener, big fan of yours, big fan of the Jets.
Appreciate you checking in, brother. What's up?
I just want to say, I thought this whole draft was a home run to the point where I was even watching on Saturday. I never really watched the last day.
I'll be honest. It's not easy to lock in on rounds 4 through 7. It's not the easiest.
Exactly. But I love what Joe Douglas was doing. I've always liked him from the beginning. My biggest fear was the fact that with Woody Johnson coming back, that he was going to want to have some sort of hand in it. But I just don't see that right now. He's letting the GM finally do the work. Obviously, big home run with Zach Wilson in the first couple of picks. I just don't think Zach Wilson should be starting week 1. If I were Joe Douglas, I would go out and get Nick Foles because Nick Foles is he's really the odd man out in Chicago, and I just think that's the perfect quarterback for this.
Is this Bart? I'm sorry, is this Bart?
Midway through the season.
Greg, thanks for the call, because that's exactly what Bart's been saying, and I buy it. And that's where I was headed next. It's not even just about Nick Foles, okay? Although he would be an ideal person for this kind of situation. And I got destroyed a few years back for my take on Nick Foles. And it's clear that Nick Foles is a different kind of player for whatever reason when he's within the city limits of Philadelphia than when he plays anywhere else. However, considering his situation, there's absolutely no reason to not bring Nick Foles in here and start him week 1. And the reason is simple. Guys, you can't go through what you just went through. You started Sam Darnold out of the gate. Was it a bad idea? It wasn't a bad idea. He won that opener in Detroit, right? It just, you can't put Zach Wilson on the field before he's close to ready to being on the field. And you'll know when it's time. Listen, they may feel great about him through training camp and decide he's going to benefit the most from playing right away. I don't think that's going to be the case. I've had coaches say this to me And it's always been a universal truth, but it seems to have gotten away from us a bit when it comes to the NFL. You'd rather play a quarterback a week late for the first time he's playing than too early, than any time too early. And that has to stand up. Too many times, and I really believe this, we have seen the failure of high draft pick quarterbacks since 2010 through 2018. I've taken you through those numbers. Really, of the 18 quarterbacks taken in the top 10 from 2010 to 2018, 6 have turned into franchise quarterbacks. And those numbers are down from what they used to be. Why? Because of the pay structure in the league. Because teams want to know sooner whether or not their guy can play. They're going to be a lot more patient with somebody that they handed $50 million to. That's why Sam Bradford got as many chances as he did, and as long as he did, to try to develop. When you have to figure out after year 3 whether or not you're going to make that significant investment in a quarterback or just move on and draft the next guy, as we just went through, you are rushing the process a little bit more than you need to sometimes. And I don't think that mentality of waiting on someone, giving them a chance to get ready, is wrong at all, just because it's now almost a ticking clock on a guy until you have to make that decision about whether or not you're going to pay him. I would take your time here. 800-919-3776. Let's go to Eddie in Rockland County. Eddie, virtually none of the players you wanted were drafted locally. Is that accurate?
Well, Chris, when your strongest position for the Giants is wide receiver and you pick a wide receiver, you're swimming against the tide.
I don't know that I would say the Giants' strongest position was wide receiver going into the draft. I would say it was improved with Kenny Golladay, but I don't know that I would call it their strongest position. Anyway, I digress.
Well, like I said, Gettleman messed up again. The trade down was fine. I would have asked Chicago for their second this year and next year instead of the garbage and the one. I understand the one's good for next year, but Gettleman might not be here next year. So I would have done that, got the 2 picks. I would have took the offensive guard that Minnesota took. You know how I feel about the tight end from Penn State that Pittsburgh Steelers took.
Hey, I got a little. I'll tell you what. Just for you, because you have talked about Pat Freiermuth so much. I talked to somebody who spent a lot of time around him a couple of years ago. Okay. The thought was the other tight end from Penn State that was drafted was better. Like the whole baby Gronk thing was basically because of how he looks. He's not that great.
Listen, if I have to choose with the Pittsburgh organization or what the Giants and the Jets have done, I'll go with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh went running back, tight end, and double offensive line. They'll be in the playoffs. Jets and Giants will barely sniff 7 and 10. But let me finish up real quick.
But the Giants can win that division. That division isn't that great. If the Jets are 7 and 10, that's a major step forward.
Chris, you want to put a ham sandwich on that? That the Giants won't. The Giants will be tied for last with Philly or Washington.
First of all, I don't like ham. I've never been a ham fan. Never been.
Well, I don't. Well, I'm sorry about that. Well, we'll get you a bologna sandwich then.
Bologna, same thing. Bologna stinks. Anyway, go ahead.
And the Jets also. On the Jets, I was a Fields guy. They could have traded down, got a boatload of picks, took Fields, took the Clemson running back that will be the rookie of the year for Jacksonville, Then they could have took Davy Gronk or a tight end. Then they could address the offensive line with the extra picks they got. The Jets will also, and Wilson is going to get creamed. He's got to face Allen 2 times. He's got to face Mac Jones now. And now he's gonna face
But
Donald again.
how do we know Mac Jones is going to be any good? Wilson was just taken well ahead of him, Eddie. Thanks for the call. Stop with Mac Jones. We don't know that Mac Jones is going to be Tom Brady. Stop it. We don't know that Tua can play yet. Their biggest issue is the Buffalo Bills. And as far as the Giants are concerned, the Giants can win the NFC East. Listen, they got better this offseason. They absolutely got better. The Giants can win the NFC East. That's not saying a lot. The Eagles stink. The Redskins, or Washington football team, not that good. And the Cowboys, they always fold up. They always fold up. And what do you know? The Cowboys took the guy that had great talent but major character concerns with Micah Parsons. What do you know? Did you notice that the Giants could have taken him, but they didn't? And that Gettleman supposedly loved him, but they didn't? And that the Eagles were afraid the Giants were going to take Devontae Smith because Judge loved him, and that's why they jumped in front? We'll get to more into that whole dynamic momentarily. Chris and Bethpage is next. Chris, what's going on?
Yeah, Chris, I can't believe this previous call. I mean, my God. Right, we had a strength as our wide receiver. First of all, in this day and age, in this NFL, you can never have enough weapons. You just can't. It's just the way the league is structured now. Look at the Chiefs, you know?
Of course, you could say the Chiefs had a strength at wide receiver. The Giants did not.
Right. And just, just the fact that, he's saying that, we should have got this guard, and how could you possibly turn down what the Bears were giving them next year's number one pick? I mean, that could potentially be a top 5 pick, and to go along with our own number one pick next year, the Giants' own number one. And like you said it perfectly. Next year's draft is going to be treated so much; it's like gold. Next year's draft, and the Giants are going to be the hammer in next year's draft. They're going to have so much capital of all the teams out there that, so anyhow.
Well, we're going to get into that next, Chris, and thanks for the call, because the Giants are uniquely positioned for next year because of that trade. But who really made it? We'll get into that in moments. Carlin, 98.7 ESPN, just getting rolling.
Hey, New York, COVID-19 vaccines are available now in